Listen, the airport started watching you long before you handed over your boarding pass. A 32-year-old marketing executive laughed off a random screening at JFK last spring until it turned into a 70-minute delay, a missed international connection, and a $1,200 rebooking fee she had to fight to recover. She thought it was bad luck. It wasn't. In 2026, expanded automated screening systems and risk-based processing means small travel habits now create bigger consequences than most passengers realize. What feels random often follows patterns you can actually control. The difference between gliding through security and watching your gate close can come down to tiny decisions you make days before departure. I'm breaking down 12 organized realities that frequent travelers quietly follow to avoid unnecessary delays. Some are simple, some are overlooked, and a few could save your next trip. Stay with me, because number 7 is where even experienced travelers lose control without realizing it. 12. Clothing density matters. Airport scanners evaluate density, bulk, and irregular shapes, not style or trends. Oversized hoodies, heavy winter coats, layered sweatshirts, thick belts, and metal thread athletic wear create uneven scan readings that require extra verification. Even reinforced bras or boots with hidden metal plates can trigger additional screening. This does not mean suspicion, but it does mean delay. The more complex your outline appears, the more time the machine needs to resolve it. Travelers often dress for comfort without realizing comfort can equal complication inside a scanner. Wearing climate-inappropriate clothing can also stand out visually to officers observing behavior patterns. Fitted but comfortable outfits produce smoother scans because they create clean body outlines. Minimal metal reduces false alerts. Simple shoes speed up removal and replacement. Packing extra layers in your carry-on instead of wearing them through security reduces density flags. Airports process thousands of passengers per hour, and efficiency favors simplicity. The less your clothing interferes with imaging technology, the faster you move through the checkpoint without secondary checks slowing you down unnecessarily. Solution? Wear fitted, simple clothing with minimal metal and pack extra layers instead of wearing them. Clothing is just the first filter, because once your bag is checked, it enters a system that analyzes it in even greater detail. 11. Checked bags enter data systems immediately. The moment your suitcase is tagged, it enters a monitored tracking system that logs weight, routing, and scan imagery. Bags that appear unusually dense, cluttered, or inconsistent with common packing patterns may be routed for secondary inspection. Excessive wrapping in foil or thick plastic makes X-ray interpretation difficult, increasing the likelihood of manual review. Electronics tangled together also create unclear density clusters that require clarification. If a bag must be opened, security typically leaves a notice inside, but the process happens without direct notification. Non-approved locks may be removed if inspection is required. Airline liability for lost valuables is limited, which surprises many travelers. Clean packing helps imaging systems interpret contents quickly and accurately. Organized compartments reduce visual confusion on X-ray screens. Photographing bag contents before closing provides documentation if disputes arise. Systems prioritize clarity. The clearer your packing, the less friction it creates during automated screening. Friction inside a baggage system often translates into delay, additional handling, or rerouting before departure. Solution? Pack neatly, avoid unnecessary wrapping, and never place valuables in checked luggage. Your suitcase doesn't just get transported, it gets scanned, logged, and evaluated before you ever reach the gate. 10. Body scanners flag anomalies, not intent. Modern body scanners compare your outline against a generic template and flag unexpected density variations. Medical devices, folded documents in pockets, layered waistbands, or hidden items can trigger alerts even when harmless. The scan does not interpret motives, it detects irregular shapes. When an alert appears, officers follow protocol to verify the area. Calm communication resolves most situations quickly. Informing officers proactively about medical devices helps prevent confusion. Carrying documentation adds reassurance if additional screening occurs. Behavior also influences processing time. Rapid movements, refusal to follow instructions, or visible agitation can extend interaction length. Security environments prioritize order and clarity. Slow, deliberate movement and steady breathing project cooperation. Understanding that machines detect shapes rather than stories reduces anxiety during screening. Many secondary checks happen simply because something interrupted the template match. Keeping pockets empty and clothing simple reduces alerts. Most scans complete in seconds when no anomaly interrupts the automated comparison system operating behind the scenes. Solution: empty your pockets, disclose medical devices calmly, and move slowly through the scanner. Even a perfect scan won't override your booking data because your reservation history has already been reviewed. 9. Booking patterns influence screening likelihood. Airports and airlines use automated systems that evaluate booking timing, route combinations, and profile completeness. Last-minute one-way tickets, unusual international connections, and incomplete passenger profiles can increase the probability of additional screening. Payment consistency also contributes to pattern evaluation. These factors do not imply wrongdoing, but they can shift your reservation into a review category. Booking flights in advance reduces deviation from common travel behavior. Maintaining consistent identification details across reservations prevents data mismatches. Completing airline profiles fully helps systems verify identity efficiently. Travelers sometimes assume screening selections are purely random, yet many are system-assisted. Remaining calm if selected is critical. Escalation extends review time. Programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry reduce friction because they provide prior verification. Systems respond to predictability and clarity. The more consistent your booking behavior appears, the less likely it is to trigger additional review layers during your airport experience. Predictability speeds processing across automated checkpoints. Solution: book in advance, use consistent details, and complete your airline profile fully. Booking patterns don't stop at the database. They influence what happens when you physically step into the checkpoint. 8. Overconfidence causes avoidable delays. Frequent travelers often move quickly through security, assuming procedures remain identical everywhere. However, lane rules vary by airport and sometimes by terminal. Electronics removal policies, shoe requirements, and bin placement instructions change periodically. Ignoring posted signage because of past experience leads to mistakes that triggers secondary inspection. Rushing increases forgetfulness, such as leaving liquids in side pockets or failing to separate large electronics when required. Officers must then pause the belt, remove your bag, and rescan it. That interruption delays you and everyone behind you. Confidence is helpful, but attentiveness is faster. Watching how the lane ahead handles items reveals current procedures. Listening carefully to officer instructions prevents unnecessary rechecks. Treating each checkpoint as new keeps your behavior aligned with updated expectations. Smooth movement comes from awareness, not speed. Even experienced flyers benefit from slowing down slightly to ensure compliance with that specific airport's process rather than relying on memory alone from previous trips. Solution: follow posted instructions carefully instead of relying on past airport experiences. Moving confidently isn't enough. Your ticket type directly affects what options you'll have if something goes wrong. 7. Ticket type affects operational flexibility. When boarding passes are scanned, airline systems display fare class, upgrade eligibility, and booking channel information. During overbooked situations or irregular operations, fare rules often influence rebooking priority. Lower fare classes may carry more restrictions compared to flexible tickets. Booking directly with the airline simplifies changes because third-party reservations sometimes require external coordination. This does not mean staff treat passengers unfairly, but operational systems follow structured priority guidelines. Acting calm and professional increases cooperation during disruptions. Knowing compensation rights for involuntary bumping helps you respond confidently if necessary. Travelers who remain composed often receive clearer assistance. Price alone does not guarantee better outcomes, but flexibility rules embedded in ticket types do affect available options.
Understanding what you purchased helps manage expectations when schedules shift unexpectedly. Awareness of fare conditions empowers smarter booking decisions before travel day arrives and reduces frustration when operational limits surface at the gate. Solution: book directly when possible and understand your ticket's fare rules before travel. If this is helping you see the airport differently, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. 6. Stress slows interactions. Airports are high-pressure environments, and visible stress often attracts additional attention from staff trained to maintain order. Rapid breathing, agitation, or visible frustration can prompt officers to slow interactions to assess the situation. This does not imply wrongdoing, it reflects safety protocol. Arriving early reduces time pressure, which naturally lowers stress levels. Limiting caffeine before travel helps avoid elevated heart rates and sweating. Practicing slow breathing in line steadies body language. Calm posture and deliberate movement project cooperation. When officers sense cooperation, screenings typically conclude faster. Travelers who appear rushed may unintentionally extend their own processing time. The airport system favors predictability and composure. Preparing mentally for minor delays prevents emotional escalation. A few extra minutes of patience can prevent longer setbacks triggered by visible frustration. Stress management is not just personal wellness, it directly affects how smoothly your airport interactions unfold from check-in to boarding gate. Solution: arrive early, breathe steadily, and maintain calm body language at all times.
5. Private screenings are procedural. Being escorted to a separate screening area can feel intimidating, but these spaces are typically used for document clarification or item verification. Medication without labels, unclear paperwork, or flagged bag scans often require private review. Officers conduct these checks away from crowded areas to maintain order. Cooperation significantly shortens the process. Asking polite questions about what is needed provides clarity without confrontation. Arguing rarely speeds resolution. Organized documents and clearly labeled prescriptions prevent extended verification. Most private screenings conclude once required information is confirmed. Preparation is the strongest safeguard against prolonged review. Travelers who remain calm generally exit these areas quickly. Viewing the situation as administrative rather than punitive reduces anxiety. Airports rely on structured procedures to resolve uncertainties. When documentation is clear, the system moves efficiently. Private rooms are part of that structure, designed to clarify issues discreetly rather than publicly within the terminal environment. Solution: keep documents organized and respond politely if taken to a private screening area. 4. Baggage weight buffers prevent fees. Home luggage scales often differ slightly from airport counterscales due to calibration differences. Packing exactly to the maximum weight leaves no margin for variation. Even small discrepancies can trigger overweight fees depending on airline rounding policies. Leaving a 2 to 3 pound buffer below the limit protects against unexpected charges. Portable luggage scales provide additional confirmation before departure. If a scale reading seems inconsistent, politely requesting a recheck may resolve discrepancies. Wearing heavier shoes or jackets can redistribute weight quickly when needed. Planning buffer space eliminates last-minute stress at the counter. Airport systems follow strict weight thresholds without flexibility once recorded. Small preparation decisions prevent costly adjustments in crowded check-in areas. Weight management is one of the simplest travel optimizations available. Building a margin into your packing strategy ensures smoother interactions and avoids unnecessary financial penalties tied to fractional overages at departure. Solution: pack at least 2 to 3 pounds under the airline's weight limit. 3. Travel reputation builds over time. Airlines document customer interactions to maintain service standards and safety. Repeated confrontations, aggressive disputes, or disruptive behavior can become part of internal records. This does not create criminal consequences, but it may influence how future reservations are handled during disruptions. Staff possess discretion when rebooking or assisting passengers. Polite communication increases willingness to help. Written complaints after travel are more effective than heated gate arguments. Maintaining professionalism preserves flexibility in unexpected situations. Systems recognize behavioral patterns over time. One stressful interaction may not matter, but repeated escalation can shape perception. Protecting your travel reputation ensures smoother experiences across airlines and routes. Courtesy functions as a strategic advantage within structured service environments. Long-term consistency builds trust between traveler and airline systems. That trust can translate into more efficient assistance when schedule changes or operational challenges arise unexpectedly. Solution: stay professional during conflicts and handle complaints calmly in writing afterward. 2. Profile completeness speeds verification. Incomplete traveler profiles create additional verification steps in automated systems. Missing middle names, inconsistent identification details, or outdated contact information can slow processing. Systems rely on matching data across reservations and identification records. Completing airline profiles fully reduces mismatches. Using consistent formatting for names across bookings prevents confusion. Keeping passport and ID information updated ensures accurate cross-referencing. Even loyalty accounts benefit from complete information. Clear data simplifies automated validation checks before arrival at the airport. The fewer inconsistencies present, the less likely additional manual review becomes necessary. Travelers sometimes overlook profile accuracy, assuming it does not matter beyond marketing emails. In reality, consistent data reduces friction across ticketing and security systems. Treating your airline profile as part of your travel preparation improves overall efficiency. Small administrative details significantly influence how smoothly back-end systems process your reservation before departure day. Solution: ensure your airline profile details match your identification exactly. 1. Evaluation begins at booking. Airport systems analyze booking timing, route selection, and reservation consistency long before travel day. Last-minute international travel combined with incomplete profile data may trigger enhanced screening simply because it deviates from common patterns. Using credit cards, maintaining consistent travel habits, and providing complete identification data improves predictability. Trusted traveler programs offer additional verification that streamlines processing. Airports operate as structured systems, responding to data patterns rather than randomness. Understanding this shifts your mindset from reaction to preparation. When your booking behavior appears consistent and complete, back-end systems process your reservation efficiently. Awareness of this invisible layer empowers smarter planning. Instead of fearing surveillance, focus on reducing irregularities in your travel profile. Consistency, clarity, and preparation create smoother airport experiences. Once you recognize evaluation begins at booking, every decision before arrival becomes part of your strategy for moving through the airport efficiently and calmly. Solution: book consistently, complete your information accurately, and plan travel in advance whenever possible. Travel smart, stay calm, move strategically. Click any of these videos on your screen, and I'll see you in a moment.